social media?
Yeah. Good.
Well, thriller the other day, but you held on there. Let's talk about it.
Well, it was a good comeback win. Obviously, I wasn't real pleased with the last 10 minutes of the first half, and you always want to give Chicago State credit because on their home court they had a game plan, they were executing it, and they were making shots. But I thought we relaxed a little bit, and they got it going. It's tough to flip that switch. But I got to give our guys a lot of credit at the half, being 14 down, their ball coming out in the second half. We were a different basketball team, much more energized, which you have to be. Against a team on their home court. I thought we played DePaul basketball in the second half, and as a result, we outscored them by 24-25 and won the game.
That's the thing. I know the first half drove you nuts, but in the end, they answered when it was time to answer.
Well, it's a good trait to respond when you're called upon, but it's also a good trait to really be ready. At the beginning of most all games, and that's what we're looking for is a consistency with our team. And hopefully we can find that soon.
What did you learn about your team after that game?
Well, again, we do respond, which is good. But I also learned that we've got a lot of work to do as far as being ready for every game, and that's a habit that you want to build. That's a habit that obviously isn't instilled yet, and hopefully that will show up on Sunday.
So, how much does that concern you? Is it still does this team have an identity? Do they know their identity?
Well, it is concerning. We're not consistent yet. We're not a consistent team, and I don't think we're too much different than a lot of teams around the country at this point. And that's what you have the non-conference play for is to develop, and you want to develop and become a better team as the season goes along. And part of that is building really good habits. And that's what we're looking to do: is start games fast and with energy.
Brandon, once again, talk about this. He is, as far as consistency goes, he's it right now.
Well, he was a really, he led, particularly in the second half, and he stepped up when he was most needed. And you like to see that in a veteran backcourt player, and as you said, he played very well right now.
That's when you come to Milwaukee, and what are you expecting now?
Well, the big thing is this is a team that's given us problems the last couple of years. We beat them in a close game year before last. We lost to them last year. And so hopefully our guys are mindful of that, and they understand this is a good team from a very good league, and they're going to be a tough out.
We got the news this week about Chicago State and going to the WAC and all of that. We've seen all of these transfers going on, particularly this year. But what are your thoughts about all these things?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Chicago State. That does give them more name recognition, a more stable league. But as far as all of the league jumping around and that kind of thing, I'm not a big fan of it. But it doesn't have a whole lot to do with basketball and basketball coaches. It has to do everything to do with football and the money contracts for the football playing schools, and everybody's trying to find out what they perceive as a safe harbor and put themselves and their programs in a strong position, and that's what they're doing. More power to them, but I'm not a big fan of it. I like the tradition of college football as well as college basketball and traditional rivalries and all of that. That's what I grew up on, and in terms of being a young player, but also as a coach. All right.
You've changed the starting lineup a few times this year. Is it meant to be more fluid, or are you still trying to find the right units?
Well, I think you're always doing that, and I don't know if I've ever gone through a season where we haven't changed the starting lineup some. Probably I've done it more this year at the very beginning than most years. But we had some injuries. We've lost, two starters at times. Jimmy Crockett finally came back for the Chicago State game. So that prompted that, as well as just trying to become a more consistent unit, trying to find a group that starts the game in a strong fashion.
What do you know about the UW Milwaukee team that you guys will play on Sunday?
They're all outstanding shooters. They're a tough team. We played them for the last 2 years in a row. They're really, really well coached. They like to keep the floor spread. They're very tough. I wouldn't call it a sagging man-to-man, but more of a wall man-to-man. They really defend below the three-point line very well. And if you take the three over top, they're going to challenge that as well.
Reverting back to the carousel that seems to be going on with these conferences. Before DePaul, you coached at Clemson in the ACC. What do you think about the changes that conference has made recently?
Well, I mean, it looks like that they have strengthened themselves, and it looks like that they're kind of falling in line with everybody else in terms of feeling like they need to grow and to make themselves more attractive for the television marketplaces, and that's what they're doing. So it looks like they're doing a good job at what they're trying to do. But at the same time, I'm not a big fan of it because I'm not sure it's in the best interest of college football and college basketball in terms of rivalries.
What do you think about the new teams that the Big East will be getting next year?
Well, they're all good teams. I mean, there's no question that the competition level will not drop. I mean, SMU is going to be a world beater under Larry Brown. Temple, you don't need to say much about them. Everybody understands the great tradition that they have. Houston's going to recruit that tough Texas market. Same at Central Florida, and Memphis has been as good as any program in the top 15 or any 15 programs over the last 10 or 15 years. So outstanding teams coming in. So it's going to be every bit as competitive. But we do lose a little bit in those rivalries, Georgetown, Syracuse, etc.
Do you think the Big East will revert back to a division format with so many teams coming in next year?
I doubt it. I doubt it. Just based on last year's conference meetings, there was very little talk about that. But you never say never because things are still fluctuating.
Of course, the last question I have for you: conference play starts in just a few weeks. Have you discussed that with your team yet as you make your way through the non-conference schedule?
Not very much at all. I mean, we're not at the point we can look past anybody, and I'm not sure we ever will be. But right now, we're just taking it game by game, trying to get better, trying to become a more consistent basketball team.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck on Sunday.
All right.